Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Oh, you get fairy dust and I get fairy dust and this little sweet Amelie gets fairy dust. Let's take a little peek at the girl. There she is, getting comfortable. Okay, we are still on Codependent No More and chapter 4, the low self-worth column, and page 42 if you have the book. All right, we are going to start with codependence, fear, rejection. And fearing rejection is going to be on a continuum, because for those of us who have literally been abandoned in childhood or rejected in childhood, could be at school as well. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. This was a way that I lived. I mean, like I made choices, and I made some huge, stupid choices that had to do a lot with my life that were based on fearing rejection. And the thing about it is, if you fear rejection from someone else, so you don't act, or you can't be vulnerable because you can't take rejection, the pickle is that means we end up rejecting ourselves. Like, we reject ourselves first before we let anybody else reject us. And you can just think about it for a second. A life filled with a protection against rejection versus a life being vulnerable and being rejected sometimes. Do you see that this life has more of a dark cloud over it? The thing is, if we have to do our advanced personal growth work so we can figure out how to be vulnerable, to have some support, so when we do get rejected, and we will, because life just works that way. Sometimes we get jobs, sometimes we don't get jobs. Sometimes we get to date a person, sometimes we don't get to date a person. Sometimes we have friends, and sometimes those friends will make new friends. And so it is going to happen. So the antidote isn't to put a wall in our life or put up barriers to protect us from rejection. That solution seems like it's a good idea. And can you see how that's a solution formed in childhood? It's not really that complex. It's very simple. I'm just not gonna do this. Our antidote are our tools, and especially ladder of trust, because one of the rules of ladder of trust is that we can go up one rung when we're starting a relationship with each other. We can go up one rung of the ladder, and if this person rejects us, healthy people, advanced bitches, we can handle one rung of disappointment. Piece of cake. Not the greatest example for a food addict, but it's a piece of cake. Like it's easy. It's like, oh, that person that person's not interested in having a conversation with me. That's no problem. My day does not change. My mood does not change. Because advanced bitches can handle one rung of the ladder of disappointment and rejection. We can do that. When one of the things that we protect ourselves from as codependents is rejection. And one of the reasons that can be is that if we keep climbing up a ladder of trust with somebody and they don't move, when we fall, that's a hard fall. And as children, that's exactly what happened, especially for fawns, is that we had to believe that if we keep doing this, if we keep stretching ourselves, if we keep getting the points, it will work, and it never does. And so it's shattering. So those are some thoughts about fear of rejection. But I do want you to see which life is sadder and pathetic, I guess, is the life where we're just completely walled off from all the good things, or if we go through life, get a few hits. I mean, what's the most going to be, like 5 major hits? Like, okay, but then the rest of the time we don't have to walk around fearing rejection. And I'm telling you, you can make the shift over here because you have tools, because you have the ladder of trust, and you are excellent at using it. Take things personally. It is beyond. Like, we take everything personally. And again, as fawns, we had to. Why? Because our life depended on it. Because it was a matter of life and death. So we had to take the sound coming down the stairs personally. We had to take the slamming of the cabinet personally. We had to take yelling personally. We had to, because we needed to react and act accordingly. If someone's pounding down the stairs and we know that they do that when they're drunk, like, we need to take that personally. And because, again, our survival depends on, am I going to get beaten or not? Am I going to be yelled at or not? Am I going to be made to feel small or not? Like, do I need to turn off the television? Is that the thing that's going to piss them off? Do I need to turn down my tone? So we had to take everything personally. And so, again, now we learn that people are dum-dums and it has nothing to do with us. You know, we have to figure out how to live and to see things as they are and trust that when we see dysfunction in another person and they're inviting someone else to coffee but not us, and we have kind of nailed their dysfunction, it's like, we don't have to take that personally. We can say, namaste, thank you for not asking me to go, because I can see that you were dysfunctional in this way. And I don't, again, for me, the things that I'm saying, it's not that I'm like diagnosing everybody, or am I? I'm not. Am I? It's a matter of me using the ladder of trust. It's like, oh, last time when I went to coffee with that person, it did not go well, so I don't want to go again. You know, you see what I'm saying? So you just do, but you don't have to take that personally. You can say, you know, we're 2 people on different paths and we're just going our own ways. And the thing is that, let's say it is personal. Like, this person literally doesn't like Elizabeth, that she doesn't like her wands or her dog. And okay, great, that's fine. But our work is still not to take it personally, and that we don't need to. Yeah, okay, so you get it. We have been victims of sexual, physical, emotional abuse, neglect, abandonment, or alcoholism. That's another one that it's like there's no work to do here. You know you're one of these. You may be more than one of these. And I just want to take a second to say I am so sorry. I am so fucking sorry. Codependents tend to feel like victims. A lot of people, what I hear a lot is like, I don't want to play the victim, or I don't want to be the victim. But the truth is, we were victims. Like, children are victims. They had no part in it. It could not have been another way. We are victims of whatever it was. See the one before, of whatever it was. But victim, it says feeling like a victim. Those words are really loaded. And some codependents are over-functioning and will do things for other people, but some other codependents, which might not be attracted to me, so I may just be wasting everyone else's time because you're more like me, meaning the overdoer, than you know, just feeling like a victim. But that is, we are all either, when we're unconscious and codependent, we are, and they use the word victim. I like to use the parent, adult, child situation, the transactional analysis. So a victim would be child mode. And that would be just kind of not taking adult responsibility for your life. And some people do that. Most fawns are parent mode people, so we're just taking care of people left and right, which is also unconscious. So one's not better than the other. I do want to point that out. And they're attracted to each other. So overachievers, overdoers, codependents are going to attract the fixers, are going to attract the people that need fixing. So it's just something to think about. Again, they're not better or worse, they're just different. They tell themselves they can't do anything right. That is so true. It is very much that standard equipment on codependence. It's part of the factory warranty that you're going to tell yourself you can't do anything right. And the thing about a lot of these codependent thoughts are they actually even true or not? So if I say, I can't do anything right, now that is a lie, a flat out lie. It is a complex. I can't do anything right is a complex. It is a button. That can be another word for complex. But it's actually false. And I can't do anything right falls into the black and white thinking again. It's all or nothing, black or white. And so that is when you're thinking like that, you're not actually thinking. There's no problem solving or anything going on. You're just falling prey to an old complex. And that phrase, listen to it, like, I can't do anything right. There have been children that are actually told that they can't do anything right. You know, that they're stupid or they're dumb or they're foolish and they're told they can't do anything right. So of course we think we can't do anything right. And again, think about language being extinguished in homes like these. And so the language that sticks is the language that's used toward us. So we can't do anything right. So, okay, so that's true, I guess. The pickle is that when we grow up into adult mode and when we're in, adult development, that like right now, it's like, I can't do anything right. I forgot to put my flowers there. I don't know what this cushion's doing. Why isn't it poking? Like, why is it poking down? Like, I could just be focused on but I can't do anything right. I can't do anything right. Except I did turn on my camera and I did say some things and I did that right. I read those words correctly. So you see how that's not even true. And so if that's one of your lines, and I want you to circle that one. Because remember, we're going to take one of these and work on it. You actually do want to free yourself from that. And the only way to free something, and notice I've never said let these go. We cannot let them go. That is not a thing. We have to examine these intellectually, logically, to see if it's true, or not. So that line, I want you to circle that one because that's one that's going in the journal or the notebook that you're going to work on. I can't do anything right. That needs to end today, because if you're using it as a weapon, but it's a weapon of a lie, because you are doing a lot of things right. You fed yourself today. You brushed your teeth. You know how to turn on the television. You know how to turn on a phone. You know how to download apps. Like, as if you couldn't do anything, you wouldn't be able to do anything. So if you couldn't do any of these things right, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, clearly you have done a lot of things right today. So it's time that's a wound that needs to be healed. It's a Horcrux that someone intended or did not intend to make. And so that needs to be healed, not let go. That's not a thing. But I want you to examine. So a way to move from this, I can't do anything right. The next move, if you want to heal, because that's not a thought advanced bitches think, is you can move toward, and this will be the smallest, littlest movement, is I don't do almost everything right. Almost everything I don't do right. 90% of the things that I do them wrong. So you don't even have to go to everything I touch turns to gold. No. I want you, but you never utter that again, and you never think it again, because it's a false truth. And what you'll see is, it's like, well, duh, I can open an app, Elizabeth. Like, that's not even, so you discount the things that you did do right. I'm just suggesting the thought is not even true. And so when people follow thoughts that aren't true, they're deluded. So you are under a delusion, and you keep, you will be a human and you will fail at something. And so then you can see, I don't do anything right. But then that will still be false. So I'm not saying to not have negative thoughts about yourself. If you want to have that, that's fine. I'm suggesting that the ones you do have should actually be true instead of lies, because that is a lie. I hope that was helpful. We will keep going down the list, but that's for sure. Like, if you say that to yourself, I can't do anything right, that's done. Today. Over. Next. You don't have to you do everything right, but I do want you to do the discomforting thing, the uncomfortable thing, which is to say, and this is just for all of us, I do some things right, and I don't do some things right. Or I do some things right every day, except the days that I don't. All right, I hope that was helpful. Love you. Bye. Thank you for watching.